the Real Estate Training Podcast with Kiki Salcido, turning decades into days.
Hello and welcome back to the Real Estate Training Podcast. I'm your host, Kiki Salcido, and man, I'm excited about today. Let me tell you, this is very important, I believe, in sales, is your authenticity. Nobody wants to work with a faker, right? Somebody that's not real, right? You want the real deal. Being authentic. I like to do this exercise. So real quick, I want you to take out a little piece of paper and I want you to write down 10 things that make you you. 10 things that make you you. What would those be? And then take the top 5 and apply that to your business. Okay, so the top 10 things that make you you. That's why you're unique, and that's what's going to improve your business. So I like to call this uniqueness, right? So write down those top 10 things that make you you, and now those 5 things, apply them to your business. And that right there, you just created your unique selling proposition. And this is the start to your whole marketing campaign, right? So a lot of people talk about advertising marketing. Let me tell you the difference right now. Marketing is the overall plan, right? Marketing is different mediums, different things all together, right? Advertising is a little different. Advertising is the content, right? It's that actual advertising, right? It's that ad that goes out there. So your marketing it starts with your USP, and then we're going to go into SWOT analysis and all this type of stuff. But right now, it's just your USP, and that's what makes you authentic, right? Your unique selling proposition, why people should do business with you over somebody else. So next, you got to figure out is how you're going to convey that message to somebody. Okay, so you got 5 things. You guys heard of an elevator pitch? This is your elevator pitch. Congratulations. You're making your elevator pitch right now on this podcast, right? So what are 5 things that make you you? And then convey that to somebody in a coherent paragraph. And if you could do it in 30 seconds, boom, you just made yourself an elevator pitch. So again, whenever we talk about those 14 laws of selling and we're talking about the law of first impression, this is it, right? You're going to create that value proposition in that first elevator pitch, making a good first impression, right? This is a great thing that my father-in-law told my wife, and my wife told me. But this is what makes her literally a beast, dude. She's insane whenever it comes to sales. She's a monster. And she lives on this principle. If you can make them laugh, you have yourself a client. Simple as that, guys. And that's building rapport, right? So have you guys heard of stimulus and response? I'm sure you have, right? But I want you to break it down a little bit further, right? You extend your hand. They shake your hand. You smile. They smile back. You extend your hand again, they'll shake your hand again. It is the stimulus. The stimulus is extending your hand, and the response is them shaking your hand. The stimulus is you smiling at them. The response is them smiling back. Guys, these are things that we can control. Boom, little light bulb, right, goes off. We can control these things. So if we are meeting somebody for the first time, we can smile at them and we can be happy. And that is going to make them have that same reaction back, right? Because energy is contagious, okay? So this principle has been used by sales organizations for years, right? Asking a bunch of questions that are yes answers. This is a great exercise to use in your first interaction, right? Do you like living in a house? Well, yes, right? And now I can ask more questions like that, solicit more yeses. And this can be used non-verbally too. If I shake my head up and down like a yes, right, nodding, just do it to somebody. Just as you're talking, just start nodding. that person's going to start nodding back, dude. It's freaky, right? And quite honestly, like that kind of brings us to NLP. Have you guys ever heard of NLP, Neurolinguistic Programming? This is like the dark side of psychology, right? So NLP is kind of like they're the magic words. You guys have heard this in advertising. Think about this: believe, thrive, remarkable, change. These are power words, right? That this is what we're talking about. These are the magic words that we're talking about, right? Because they're believe, right? Like if I hear that in an ad, man, I'm motivated, right? That's neurolinguistic programming. What about this? Deadline, final sale, right? For a limited time only. Those are urgency words, okay? Magic words that create urgency, right? What about trust words? Guaranteed. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. Proven. Certified. Those are trust words, right? So this is the exact way that NLP is shaping the world, right? If we're building marketing plans, we got to understand NLP. We got to understand target demographic. So we can kind of understand all this type of stuff. So we can use these type of words to create a big thing, right? A big change or a predicted result. So NLP is exactly what your mom used to say when you became a teenager, right? Watch what you say. Because it can be very powerful. Think about this. You meet a beautiful person and you say to him, man, you are so beautiful, but ouch, right? Ouch. Because what did that but do? That but just took away that first part of the sentence. You're really smart, but what you said was pretty interesting, right? You just said you're smart, but so you just kind of scratched off that smart part. Okay. So what if I use this? What if I said, you're very pretty and I like the way you look. I guarantee it. But using and, right? By just putting in that simple conjunction and, you create a whole new sentence, right? You create a whole new vibe with that sentence. So the more conscious you are about what you say and the way you say it, and the effect that it has in each situation, you can start to use your words a little bit more wisely. So I remember whenever I first started doing open houses, I would say, I would just try out different things, right? And I started noticing that like I would say some things that would have a totally bad reaction. And then I would say other things and people would sign up, man. The strangers would just give me their numbers, right? Emails, everything. Addresses, everything, dude. Like it was insane. And then I started to click in and I started looking up NLP. And after you find out, you can do more research. And so I did. I took a deeper dive. And what it came out to be is that we have three brains. The neocortex, right? And that's like the top layer of our brain. Okay. That's the most advanced part of your brain. And then you have your midbrain. Your midbrain is like the next most developed cognition center, and it's really used for like sensory inputs and context of social situations, that type of stuff, right? And everyone thinks that they're pitching to the neocortex, right? Because it's the most elevated, it's the most advanced part of your brain. This is the part that like can do math and thinks at a high level and does all that stuff, right? But what we're missing is the croc brain. And the croc brain is the small part of the brain, right? And the croc brain is not an actual term for it. It's totally called something else, like scientifically. But in psychology, we call it the croc brain. And the croc brain, again, it's our most primitive part of our brain. And it has two functions. It'll tell you if something is dangerous or if it's not dangerous. This is your fight or flight. So here's the big thing, right? We pitch to the croc brain because we're strangers. And you guys will see this. Like if you start paying attention, somebody will, like this happens with me all the time, right? Somebody will just start talking. And then the moment it gets to like something that's a little bit more elevated, my brain either does two things. It says, this is super boring, or I want to pay attention more. And whenever I'm bored, it is almost impossible to pay attention. And so if somebody comes up to me and they just start talking about math, I get bored. I'm not a big math guy. So I just shut off. Dude, like I can't hear anything that you're saying. But if you warm me up a little bit and you start talking about why this is important, and then my croc brain's going to say, okay, this is interesting. I should pay attention. And then it's going to shoot it up to my midbrain. Okay. My midbrain's going to say like, all right, this is cool. This is cool. I like this. I like this. And then we're going to start having a more advanced conversation on the topic. And then you're going to throw in some higher level thinking. And then my neocortex pops back in. And that's where we're actually going to be making our decision from. So a lot of people step in to the arena of pitching, going straight for the neocortex. And you can't do that. You got to go for the croc brain. And the only way to do that is to not set off any of those alarms, right? They're in danger, right? Because if you start talking high level, they might think, I don't know this stuff. I'm going to show myself off so that I don't have to embarrass, blah, 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 blah. Or something totally different, like who knows, right? But that could shut it off completely, right? So we have to do our best. And that is the struggle, right? Is maintaining intrigue while not setting off alarms. And intrigue is where it's all at, right? So how do we do that? So let's break down some steps. So NLP is broken down into a few steps, and these are all very, very important. Okay, you'll hear these. People will bring this up all the time. But number one, you got to be mindful of language, both verbal and physical. Right, 80% I think is non-verbal communication. So you have to be very careful about the way you're standing, right? If you're shut off, if you come off arrogant, all those types of things, right? These will be either threatening or boring or by staying mindful of the language, you're going to keep your client more attentive and friendly, but you're not going to like overdo it into like where they don't believe you, right? Their bullshit meter goes off. Okay. That this part, the mindful body language is smile. Hi, how are you? I'm shaking your hand right now, right? These are good things that, again, this isn't a threatening situation, but it's not boring either because you're adding value, you're attentive, you're present. That's a big thing. You have good posture. Next is going to be active listening. Okay. This is one thing every salesperson sucks at, and that's listening, guys. The most basic thing. I pick up clients all the time because other brokers don't listen to them, right? People want to be heard. Hear them. It's easy. Just stop talking. Like you do not want to have like 80-20 rule, right? I want to provide 80% of the value while doing 20% of the talking. So that means I'm going to be more value packed per sentence than any other broker out there. And then I'm going to listen to them, because if I listen to them, I can actually hear what value they need. And then I could feel that value. Boom, right? Okay. Third is to express and promote positivity, right? Happy and positive phrases. Fantastic. I love it. Beautiful. You hear, yeah, right? Some people might hear tones of certain people that they've heard in their lives, some politicians. But that's what it is, man. It's as simple as that. Being positive and saying like, oh, that is a great idea. Here's why I think we should adjust it, right? You're probably still listening at this point, right? Because you said it was a great idea. I'm happy, I'm positive, blah, 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 blah. And now I'm adjusting it. So again, right? So number 3 of NLP. And number 4, mirror the prospect. Now this goes to an extent, right? You're not going to be, wearing the same clothes, and every time they move, you're not going to move, right? To mirror them exactly. But you have to understand like crocs want to be around other crocs, man. So like fit in, right? But be authentic. And that's where like all the stuff we've been talking about these past episodes, this all comes together, right? Because if you're getting clients based on your core values, right? Who you are, all that type of stuff, you're getting these clients that are like you. And so you don't have to fake anything. You're mirroring them because you have that natural rapport built with them. So that is so important to building rapport. And there's easy ways to build the rapport, right? And there's this great acronym that we use to get around that croc brain. And here it is, FORD. Easy. FORD. Can you guys remember that? FORD. FORD. What does it mean? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Guys, FORD. 4 things that you can talk about literally with anybody. Hey, how's your family? Oh, they're doing great. Perfect. How's work? Love it. Oh man, that's so cool. Did you guys go to the lake this week? No. All right. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. Right. But we're still keeping the conversation going. Right. We're talking about, hey, do you like to go hiking? Like, what are you guys, talking about recreation? And then we could go into dreams, but we're not going to say, hey, what were you dreaming about last night? Right. That's weird. We're going to say, what plans do you guys have for the summer? Right. What goals do you guys have for the end of the year? Right. These are their dreams. Right? We talk about dreams and goals. They're the same thing. We just make our dreams our goals. So talk to them about those. How can you help them? Again, if you listen to all of these things, you're going to find ways to add value. Oh, my family's doing well, but my mom, the house is just too big. She might be wanting to sell soon. Oh, my work's great. Actually, one of my colleagues was just talking about, he's thinking about moving and he's getting relocated and he's trying to see, how is the market, right? Or recreation. Yeah, you know what? I love mountain biking. I would love to find a place closer to the mountains, right? Ooh. Me and Stacy over here, we would, kind of one of the things that we're hoping to do is to buy an investment property and kind of get that portfolio going, right? That's a dream. Right? I can help with all of those things, man, but I had to build that rapport. I had to ask you the questions. And that's it, man. That's it. That's how you get a client. And that's how you build a client for life. And here's the big thing, right? Is you can have a contact, but the only way to get that contact to a contract is to have a relationship, right? Because if you spell it out, the only difference in the 2 words is that R. And that R is that relationship. So you can find and build these relationships, genuine relationships, that commission that we're talking about, friends that you add to your life, people that smile whenever they see you. These are the things that we're talking about. This is why we do this. But there's basic steps so you can do it effectively and efficiently. And this is what we're talking about, right? So hopefully you got some good nuggets out of today. But if you didn't, then re-listen, dude. Totally. There's some good stuff in there. In all honesty, though, thank you so much for tuning in to the Real Estate Training Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Kiki Salcido. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Please check us out online, k2simply.com. Check us out, Facebook, Instagram, K2 Simply Real Estate. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Go crush it this week. I want to hear about some good deals.
The Real Estate Training Podcast with Kiki Salcido, turning decades into days.